Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've been asked to share a little bit about the salary and benefit highlights and a few of the highlights from the education piece. As a second year of a budget, you go into it to make budget adjustments because our budget that we passed last time really targeted our salary piece. But as the speakers prior to me were talking about the role of inflation and what it's playing on our households and our employees, our state employees, we tried to do something more to help because the cost at home are more on our working families and our own employees. So just some highlights of it. Most state agency employees will be receiving 3.5% this year. We also created something called a labor market salary reserve. Each department will receive basically 1% of their payroll where they can use that money for hard to fill positions. Each department was talking about with the competitive labor market that you're seeing right now that they needed some help to be able to use money to help hard to fill positions or to help retain someone that they know that they're losing as we work through these times with the hard labor market. We changed the salaries of the folks that is set in law and statutory. These are your judges, council of state, clerks of court. They will be receiving a 4.5. Experience-based salary schedule for COs, PPOs, State Highway Patrol, SBI, ALE. That's at 4.5. Our university employees are at 3.5. Community colleges are at 3.5. Our teachers and instructional support, they are going to see a 4.2 average because we varied the scale to target our beginning teachers a little bit more and to spread that through the entire thing. But over the 2-year period, you have on average a 9.1% increase once you roll these numbers into for our teachers. We also have implemented back our bonus programs that we had to put on hold due to COVID. So those are starting back for our folks there. Another highlight is our retirees. We will be doing a one-time payout, adding 1% to that, so that makes it a total of 4%. So over the biennium, they have gotten one-time supplements of 6% dealing with their retiree. Now, some highlights from the education budget. School safety was very much a priority. It is sad in this day and time that we really have to address this as hard as we do, but it is necessary. Working in the schools myself, the locks on the doors, the new fencing, the shadowing out your windows, all of that kind of stuff is when I first started, that you didn't see a lot of that, but now you do because that's just the state of the world at this point. So to help with those efforts, we put an additional $32 million in school safety grants. That takes that total over $40 million for schools to be able to apply for those types of things. Door locks, physical things, also training to help crisis situations so we know what we need to do in the school building. We also increased the at-risk allotment where we're currently sending money to help the locals with school resource officers that are on the ground. We send the money to help with that, the participants in the grants. We up that to where we make sure we're sending enough money to keep those folks in the school. And we also provided an additional $15 million recurring to take the total over $33 million for our school resource officer grant program that targets elementary and middle schools to where we can get SROs in our younger grades, because the trend that we've seen is you see them very commonly at high schools, but you don't see them as much in the lower grades to help with that. So that was very much a priority. Because of economic conditions that have been created, we had to create a massive fuel reserve for our school buses. As the folks go to the pump and you're feeling the pain there, we're going to feel the pain rolling the buses out this August. And we have estimated diesel prices and what they will be. We put a $32 million fuel reserve in place. We are hoping that that will be enough because the number keeps on varying on the cost of diesel. It just keeps going up, 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 up. that we hope that reserve will hold, and we hope that it will hold. I'm hoping through December, but the amount, if the diesel prices go down, hopefully that will help. But that's something we've planned for. We also had to do the same thing for our driver's ed programs. We had to create a fuel reserve. So those little cars that I know most of us in this room dread getting behind when you see the little sign on top, student driver. But we have to keep those rolling because those programs were just put in utter chaos because of COVID and the inability to have our folks go through driver's ed programs. On the university, something I did want to point out on the school safety piece, we're sending $5 million to our SMI schools, and this is a sad state of the world too because of bomb threats. They've been receiving bomb threats over the last years, and for HBCUs, we are sending $5 million down so they can better equip themselves for these type of threats to protect their students on the campuses. You're also going to see a change in the Opportunity Scholarship Program. And a lot of this deals with the demand that is happening and a request from the department. They've saw a 27% increase from the prior year, and they're anticipating, let's see, 27, around 28%. So to be able to fund that, we have put more money into that program, the Opportunity Scholarships and also the Exceptional Children Fund, where folks with kids with special needs can apply for that because of the demand and wait list that has popped up with that. So that's some highlights on the salaries and some highlights on the education piece. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.